One of the biggest misconceptions about breastfeeding is that it'll help you shed the baby weight in a matter of weeks. And although this is definitely true for some mothers, others may have a harder time shedding the baby weight by breastfeeding their sweet little ones. And as a registered dietitian, I definitely don't promote focusing on losing weight quickly after giving birth, and I don't think it's necessary. But I do understand that a lot of mothers have questions revolving around this topic, and I also understand the desire to fit into pre-maternity clothes after wearing them for several months already. So in this video, I thought I'd share 7 dietitian-approved tips to help you lose weight while breastfeeding safely, if you so wish to. No pressure. After giving birth, many mamas are itching to regain their pre-pregnancy figure, but it's best not to rush into this. And that's because your body needs those first few weeks to recover from birth and also to establish a healthy milk supply. And cutting calories too drastically can make both of these more difficult. That's why it's best to wait at least 8 weeks before actively trying to lose weight. To lose weight, you'll need to ingest fewer calories than your body burns each day. But if you eat too little calories, it can slow down milk production, and it can definitely make it more difficult for you to get the vitamins and minerals that you need from your diet. In some instances, if your diet lacks vitamins and minerals, this will directly impact your baby, so your baby will also lack these nutrients. And in other cases, your baby is able to get the nutrients that you're lacking from your diet directly from your stores. It just depends on which vitamin and mineral we're talking about. However, if your baby just goes and takes it from your stores, over time this can leave your own stores feeling depleted and you feeling the negative symptoms from that, which is definitely less than ideal. Okay, so let's put some numbers on this. What's too little? Well, studies show that restricting your daily intake below 1,500 to 1,800 calories in an attempt to lose weight more quickly can lower your milk supply. You can definitely track your intake using an online food journal, for example, Chronometer, to make sure that you don't drop below 1,800 calories per day. But if you're like me and you're not a fan of counting calories or measuring portions or weighing foods, I suggest that you focus on the nutrient density of your meals and your snacks instead, because this will naturally help limit the amount of calories that you will eat while still keeping you full and satisfied. Here's the technique I personally rely on to do this. First, I fill a quarter of my plate with a source of complex carb like whole grains, fruit, or starchy vegetables, for example, and the other quarter with a source of protein such as beans, peas, tofu, tempeh, or seitan. Then I fill the remaining half with a variety of veggies and add a touch of healthy fats like olives, avocados, nuts, seeds, a little bit of hummus, or a sprinkle of shredded coconut to top it all off. As for snacks, I always try to combine a protein or fat-rich food with a source of complex carb. I made a whole video on this topic and I'll place the link in the cards above if you want to check it out. As you can probably imagine, breastfeeding does up your liquid requirements a little bit because part of the fluids that you will drink will go towards maintaining a healthy milk supply for your little one. But staying hydrated has an additional benefit. It may help you naturally lose weight by slightly reducing your appetite. So it's definitely worth making sure that you drink enough, but there's no need to force yourself to overdrink. Most mamas will do just fine by listening to their thirst and drinking accordingly. But if you're not too sure if you're drinking enough, you can always check out the color of your urine. Like I always say to my clients, if it's closer to the color of lemonade, you're good. If it's closer to the color of apple juice, then you should probably drink a little bit more. If you find it difficult to remember to drink enough, I suggest that you keep some fluids well within view and reach. For instance, a bottle of water near your nursing station or a pot of tea on your coffee table. Although what you eat will likely have the biggest impact on how much weight you can lose while breastfeeding, exercising can definitely help as well. And in fact, exercising is preferable over trying to lose weight through diet alone because it can help preserve your muscle mass. In one study, mamas who lost weight through a combination of diet and exercise lost 3.5 pounds or 1.6 kilos of fat over the study period. And in comparison, those who only dieted, so who didn't exercise at all, lost only 2.9 pounds of fat or 1.3 kilos. But those who didn't exercise also lost muscle over the same period. And losing muscle can slow down your metabolism, which isn't handy because over time, it will cause your body to burn fewer calories doing nothing, which can make it more difficult to lose weight on the long term. And also, just not having enough muscle will make it more difficult to lift your little one and carry them around, which is definitely not handy. When it comes to exercise, no need to go crazy. Even following a short routine at home will do. But for most muscle stimulating results, I do strongly suggest that you incorporate some strengthening exercises. For instance, doing squats with your little baby. Some mamas report experiencing intense cravings while breastfeeding, and these can definitely make it more challenging for you to lose the baby weight. They're likely caused by a combination of the extra energy that you're burning while nursing, which is about 500 extra calories a day, and the sleep deprivation that comes from caring with the little one. And the best way I know to reduce these cravings is to incorporate a source of protein and a source of fiber to each of your meals and snacks, because these two nutrients can help keep you fuller for longer and reduce hunger, which can help keep cravings at bay. Protein-rich foods include beans, peas, tofu, tempeh, seitan, soy milk, and soy yogurts, nuts and seeds as well. And for fiber, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and legumes are great options. The first few weeks, heck even years, of caring for a baby can be pretty hectic. And depending on how smoothly breastfeeding goes for you, it can leave you with very little time left over for activities like cooking. At this point, it can be convenient to rely on takeout as a quick meal option. But restaurant meals tend to be richer in calories, sugar, and fat than homemade ones. So relying on them too often can definitely stifle your weight loss efforts. So it's worth organizing some alternative options. For instance, you can try organizing a mama meal train, which enlists relatives and friends to help provide some healthy home-cooked meals for you in the first weeks after giving birth. Another option is to get your groceries delivered and taking a few minutes to prep your foods as soon as they arrive, which can make it easier for you to make a meal later on. Other handy options include using a slow cooker or perhaps cooking larger amounts of food when you do have time to cook, so that over time you can create a freezer stash of healthy home-cooked meals. I also suggest keeping a list of easy-to-assemble meals on hand and the ingredients required for them always available in your fridge or your pantry for those times when cooking is not in the slightest realistic. This last tip is probably one of the most important I can share with you, but also one of the most difficult to apply, because it relies on identifying your signals of hunger and satiety. And although we're all born with this ability to identify them, over time, for various reasons, we tend to lose touch with those signals, which can cause us to overeat without really even being aware of it or actively deciding to. And new moms, or moms in general, are at a particularly increased risk of doing this because we tend to sometimes eat while doing something else or quickly between two tasks. And research shows that this can cause us to eat up to 71% more than usual. So ideally, when comes mealtime, you'd want to turn off all distractions, TV, computer, no YouTube, and really just sit down at the table and focus on the meal that you're eating. And again, ideally, you would take your time to do this, so at least 20 to 30 minutes per meal. Now, as a mom myself, I know that it's not always practical to take 20 to 30 minutes of uninterrupted time to eat, especially if your little one is not napping or if there's no one else to attend to their needs. So what I can suggest is instead to apply the same techniques, but in 5 to 10 minute increments, taking a break in between to attend other responsibilities. Eating in this way will make it much easier for you to identify your true signals of hunger and satiety and help you adjust your portion size accordingly. Now, if you have a hard time identifying true physical hunger from, let's say, mental hunger, I strongly encourage you to download this free worksheet, which I created a few weeks ago, that helps walk you through the process. If you're a breastfeeding mama that is actively trying to lose weight and you have any questions, feel free to place them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And with that said, that's it for today. Until next time, ciao ciao!